Today is a full Hilux day. We have the N80 over here, which is a GR Sport, and we do have the N90 over here. So both getting hammer treatment, and we do have our own N90 work car. And so we'll go through the whole build and everything we're doing on all cars. We are excited for these two builds because today we are changing the entire front end on both these cars. Nothing crazy, nothing flashy, just the right look that makes you look back at your car after you park it. So let's jump right into it. We're starting with the N90. Now, from the outside, it might look like we're just changing the front bar, but actually, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. First up, we're removing the front bumper so we can install the cradle and make space for the Hammer Force 12 winch. After that, we're transforming the wiring harness and the original sensors into the bull bar. The front end of this N90 Hilux has been stripped. We do have the original bumper on the side here. This one's actually getting the King Series bull bar without the hoops. It's also getting a Force 12 winch and also, I believe, a 30-inch light bar. This is the bar on the side which they're prepping at the moment. Does have the wiring loom, does have the camera relocated from the inside that grill area to the bar, just under the Hammer logo. We do also have that radar moved from the original bumper into the bar as well. And if you do have sensors, they get into this area over here. We have 4 sensor slots. If it doesn't, if your N90 doesn't, we do have a nice plug here, which is the Hammer branded. Now, this N90 didn't come with these sensors from factory, so we're using the Hammer plugs to cover the sensor holes and keep everything looking clean. The boys are getting the cradle installed now. Once that cradle's in place, we're going to move on to the recovery points. Looks simple, but there's actually a lot going on here. A few measurements, a few adjustments, and making sure everything lines up perfectly, because when it's right now, it saves us from headaches later on. Once we're happy how everything sits, we bolt everything down and make sure everything's nice and secure. Next up is the light wiring. Before the bull bar goes on, we need to install the headlight infill panels. Once the bull bar's on, it's very tight access to adjust those panels, so we want to make sure they're nice and tight before that bull bar gets fitted.
We started off before I started school. Mom and Dad said we're headed south, we're gonna move.
Now it's time for the Hammer Force 12 winch. And if you haven't watched our last video, you can go check that out. We mentioned everything you want to know about the Force 12 winch. You can go down into the description and click the link.
Switch.
So the lights have been wired up, the winch has been wired up as well. It's literally on their cradle, bolted up. Simple, easy control box as part of that Force 12 winch. That's why it's a lot easier to wire this up. We have a couple other parts we're going through at the moment before we put on that bull bar. And now the final little touches, the grill goes back in, and after that, we're finally gonna mount the bull bar.
I remember when you opened up that door. Big new eyes I've never seen before. Oh no. You keep smiling, I'm dying on the floor. I feel like I know you, but I wanna know some more.
The N90 is almost complete and that front end is looking tough. But we're not done yet. We've also got a company, N90 SR5, with us today with a full Hammer build. I'll take you guys through that later on in this video. But first, let's have a look at this front end.
There's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
We have it, this N90 is done. This is the King Series bar without the hoops. We do have the Astra light bar, the Force 12 winch, and that bash plate. Let's go check out the N80.
I can send it up, I can send it up, I can send it.
We're doing something a little different. No winch on this one. Instead, we're going to put the King Plus bull bar with the hoop setup. You guys already know the process, so now we're going to put this into fast forward mode. First, we're going to install the Hammer Astra 20-inch light bar inside the bull bar slot while the Cradle gets prepared. Slowly, everything's starting to come together for this N80 GR Sport. We also have a no hoop option available for those that prefer a cleaner, no hoop look. Once the cradle and recovery points are done, the next step is getting the bull bar onto this car. But before we do this, the grille needs to go in first, because once the bar is fitted, access to that grille becomes more of a game of how far can your arm actually reach, and nobody wants to lose that game. So it's typical Melbourne weather outside. It's cold, it's raining. We just finished off this N80 Hilux. This is the King Plus bull bar. We also show you the N90 Hilux, which is completed. After this, after I show you this beauty outside, we're going to jump back in and show you our company N90 Hilux, that full build. So we have finished with the N80 Hilux, which is the GR Sport, and we have finished with the N90 Hilux as well. Those customers were very happy with their build. Now, as promised, I'm here to show you our company car, the N90 Hilux, that full build. We do have the Atlas Series Plus fitted on here. There is the King Series range available as well. This one does have the sequential indication, data running and fog lights integrated. Coming up to the top over here, we do have some Hammer crawl brackets, and on those brackets, we do have the Ruby work lights. Now these work lights have an option to have the daytime running in white or amber, but if you have it in white, you can actually run that light for the amber to be an indicator. So when you indicate, they turn on and blink and then go back to daytime running as white after. Now, come down to the side, we do have the shadow side steps fitted. Nicely integrated to the car. It is chassis mounted, so when you are going off-roading, they can take a bashing as well. Now coming up to the front, this car has been lifted. It has that stance and that presence. We lifted it with the H4X suspension, 2-inch lift, so we can get some bigger wheels and tires. They are KMC wheels on some Falken Wildpeak tires. So at the rear here, we do have the Nova Series rear bar. It does come with a tow ball and hitch as well. If you don't like that, if you don't like to actually have it on there all the time, you can remove it, and we do have a hammer plug to seal that off over there. Now, the work lights are integrated as well, nice and bright when you put the car in reverse. Unless you want to wire it to a switch, you can as well. That's an option you have. Now, if you come up over here, this is a nice Series sports bar. Now, what I like the most about this one, it does have the Hammer logo here, the wording, but behind that, it does have a red light. So when you drive at night, nice and sleek, have that little bit of red. So this is the Hammer Auto Roller right here. Nice black, integrated nicely to the vehicle. It does have the Hammer branding there. And on the back here, open and close buttons. You do also get a remote. So you literally press it open Or if you don't like to have the remote, you can use a factory key. Just press the open button 3 times to open, press it 3 times, it will close. Nicely like that. Look, we do have a light inside as well, app to control it, multiple different functions of opening and closing. This over here, this is actually something that's coming out very soon. We're just finishing off a couple little details. It is a tub divider. Now, how it works, you literally just unscrew the side on the front, the back, and you can slide it back or forward, and you can actually organize whatever you have in your tub, nice and secure as well. So this is our N90 full build. If you like this or you want to modify your car a certain way, we can do that. We have multiple different options available. So check that out. If you like this sort of content, hit that subscribe button. We're doing more off-roading and more full build content just like this.